Or you can head to chow hall.
I don't think he heard it.
Smith.
He might not have heard that.
Smith. Or Trey.
Well, I'm gonna ask my card okay for you being here. You're gonna leave what?
Recording in progress.
Good morning, sir. Could you give us your name and number for the record, please?
My name is Charles Smith, 164958.
Okay, Mr. Smith. My name is Mr. James. My colleagues you see on the screen there are Miss Wiggins and Miss Fields. The three of us will be conducting your parole eligibility hearing today. Let me see here. Looks like you came before the board back in 2020. So do you have a pretty good idea of how the proceedings flow?
Yes, sir.
Okay. The only change is instead of seeing 2 members, you now see 3 members. And that's because of some legislation that was passed last July. And so we have to abide by that legislation.
Yes, sir.
Right? Decisions made the same way, just three people doing it now. So I'm gonna read your record card, sir, so make sure everything is correct about you that's on here. Your name is Charles A. Smith, and your number is 164958. Looks like you're medium custody there, Lee Adjustment. You're 58 years of age.
Yes, sir.
You're serving a 50-year sentence, sir, for murder, violent crime. You have served 24 years and 9 months, and you have 23 years and 6 months remaining on your sentence. Looks like you have a loss of 331 days of meritorious good time. You do not have any detainers. Does that sound pretty accurate to you, Mr. Smith?
Yes. Yes, sir.
All right, Mr. Smith. So we know you've done this, explained this before, but this is a brand new panel, so we'll probably go the same route. We want you to talk about your crime story. So let's get you pulled up here. So, Mr. Smith, on August the 8th of 1999, what happened, man? Talk to us about what happened.
I met this lady, Miss Poland, and I went to her house, and we was drinking, and I really don't know what happened from there, because I think I suffered some type of blackout, and when I came to, someone had took my clothes off of me, you know what I'm saying, and I lashed out. I grabbed something trying to protect myself, I guess, and I stabbed Miss Poland. And this is something that I've been dealing with, for a long time, because as a kid, I was sexually abused by a woman, and I don't really, like I said, I really don't know really what happened that night because from the blackout, and that's like I said, all I remember is coming to and seeing my clothes off of me, and she was trying to do something to me, and like I said, I seen something laying on the table. I picked it up, and I did something that I regret for the rest of my life.
What did you do? What was the weapon that you used?
It looked like it was scissors, and I stabbed Miss Poland one time, and I panicked and ran.
So how did you end up at that address to start with?
Well, actually, I was going to see, I had a girlfriend over there in the apartment complex, and I was going to see, her. And when I got in my car, I had seen Miss Poland, she was crying. And so I asked her if she was okay. And so we started talking, and she offered me a drink. And sir, like I said, I think, I ain't for sure, but from some pictures that I seen, Miss Poland had some pills in her hand, and I think she put something in my drink. I ain't for sure. but I suffered some type of blackout, and I've never blacked out before in my life from, just one cup of liquor.
So what I'm trying to get to here, what caused you to stab her?
Like I said, when I came to, my clothes was off of me, and she was over top of me trying to do something to me, and I was afraid for my life, and I lashed out, and I seen those scissors laying there. And I lashed out and I grabbed them to protect myself.
What was she trying to do to you?
I don't know. I don't know why I was even naked. You know what I'm saying? That's what I said. I think she put something in my drink because she still had another pill in her hand from some autopsy pictures that I seen. And, from when I looked at my case later on, I seen that she still had a pill in her hand. And I don't know what she was doing with this pill, but I think I suffered I think she put something in my drink. I'm not for sure. It's the only conclusion I can come to, with all these years I've been sitting back, just pondering over, what really happened that night. And that's the only conclusion I can come to from the pictures that I've seen from the detectives, and, how when I came to, because like I said, I've been drinking before, at the time I was 33 years old, and I had been drinking, a lot, in my lifetime, and I've never suffered any type of blackouts or anything like that. And that
So-
night I did. It's like as if she put something in my drink, because when she offered me the drink, she come back. I drank the drink, and I don't know really what happened from there. And so I come to.
So after you stabbed her, you got dressed and left?
Yes, sir. I panicked and ran.
Did you call the EMS or anything, or anybody, any emergency personnel?
I was scared. I have never, like I said, when I was a kid, I was molested by an older woman. And, like I said, over the years, that's all I could, that's the conclusion I come to that she was trying to do to me. I
How many
felt like
times
that
How many times did you stab her?
one time and ran.
So they found blood in the living room. They found blood in the bathroom. So
None of that stuff was my blood, though. I think Miss Poland, her husband had got killed or something, and I think she was grieving from that. And from my understanding of the case, when I studied the case myself, I seen that, they had a struggle, her and her husband or something, in that house, prior to me coming over there. I think he was killed in some type of drug deal gone bad or something several days before.
okay, so now let's we'll make a little transition here. You got interviewed. You got interviewed by the Richmond Homicide Unit on April 27th, 2000. You remember that?
Talking about the Lexington police?
Well, it says here, yeah, it's, yeah. It says,
You keep cutting out.
yeah, it looks like you were in Lexington, but a Richmond officer interviewed you.
Can you hear me?
Here we go again. Can you hear me, sir?
I can't hear you.
You're cutting out. It's coming and going.
Can y'all
It
hear
looks
me
like
now?
looks like he was frozen, or there's
Can you
still
hear
a
us
lag.
now?
I can hear you loud and clear.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you loud and clear also.
I can't hear you.
Recording stopped.
Are you able to hear the other individuals on here? Are you able to hear us?
It's just lag coming back. So
Hello? Looks like there's a bit of a lag
can
over
now.
there on your end. Okay.
Recording in progress.
Okay, can you hear me now, sir? Can you hear me? Can you hear me, sir? Mr. Smith?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I can hear you now. Yes, sir.
Okay. You were in Lexington, and you were in Lexington on they finally caught up with you on a warrant in April 27th, 2000.
Mm-hmm.
And you got interviewed by a Richmond homicide officer. And he read your
Yes, sir.
Miranda, he read you your rights, and you understood them. And you stated that you never knew Pamela Poland or her husband, Leonard Poland. Is that correct?
Yes, sir. I didn't know.
Okay, then it says that you immediately stated that you were given $1,000 up front and $500 worth of crack cocaine to dispose of Miss Poland's body. Mr. Smith stated that a man named Sebo or CeeLo was the one who asked him to dispose of the body. Mr. Smith stated that he entered the apartment and noticed a woman laying on the couch, and she appeared to be naked. Shortly thereafter, he said something about a pair of scissors. Charles indicated that he picked the scissors up off the sofa and that he was not sure of what he did with them. At this time, the detective asked you if you could have perhaps stabbed Mrs. Poland with them. And you stated that you did not think so. So talk to us about that exchange, man, about the Sebo and CeeLo.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Being truthful, when I encountered the police, I was scared. I was afraid. This is the first time I ever really been in trouble. So, I lied. I lied to the police about, and what did you do? I didn't know what else to do. I was afraid.
What happened in there, Mrs. Smith? Why did you kill that lady? Why did you kill her?
Like I
Why
said,
did you really kill her? Why did you kill her?
I'm telling the truth now. Like I said, I don't know what happened that night. I felt like she offered me a drink and I blacked out. And in the reports, like I said, I seen that she still had some type of pill in her hand. Like she put something in my drink. She put something in my drink. And when I encountered the police, I lied. because I was afraid. I ain't never been in trouble.
For the time that you committed this
First
crime,
time.
sir, for the time you committed this crime and you ran, how long were you on the lam? How long were you running free?
Probably over 9 or 10 months.
Almost a year.
Yes.
That doesn't sound like that to me. That don't, if you weren't guilty, why would you run of anything? Why would you run?
Because I was afraid. I'm a young black man. Who would believe me? You know?
So I'll go back to
And
why did you? I don't understand. What I'm trying to understand is why you keep saying you were on drug, you were drugged, but and you woke up or you blacked out and you woke up and she was there and you said, what was she doing to you that you had to kill her?
she was trying to do, I don't know, something sexually. She was doing something sexually. She was naked. She had her clothes off. She done took my pants down. She was trying to do something sexually to me. Look at the pictures.
So why
She
wouldn't
was,
you get up? Why wouldn't you get up from that and just leave that situation instead of killing her? Why
like I
would that be
said,
why would that be an option to kill her?
well, because I know that she done something to me to make me black out. You know, she put something in my drink.
So you
She
killed
put
her because
something
she
in
put
my
something
drink.
in your drink and you woke up and you saw her doing a sexual act on you, so you killed her. That's pretty much it, right?
I, I think I don't know what she was trying to do to me other than, rape me, because she was seemed like that's what she was trying to do. Like she was trying to rape me. And so I was afraid. And, I grabbed something, the first thing I saw. This lady is on top of me doing, when I came to, she's on top of me doing something to me. I don't know what she was doing to me, you know. Um, like I said, I never met her before in my life, you know. And to this day, I still struggle, with that issue because I mean, I want to know what she was trying to do to me, but I know she was doing something to me. And, normally I would never hurt anyone,
So
anyone.
how
I've
did you
never
end up in
hurt
her
you
how did you end
before.
up in her apartment, sir?
She invited me in.
So
She
why would
invited
she
me in.
okay, so what was that all about? Why would she invite you in? What was that all about?
Well, she told me her situation about her husband. That he had just died. And so she was like, she didn't want to be alone. She asked me, well, would you stay here and, comfort me? And so I said, I come in and have a drink. She offered me a drink. She said, would you come in at least to have one drink with me? And I did. And like I said, I think she put something in my drink.
Okay.
Because I blacked out instantly. I wasn't even there that long when I blacked out. And so when I came to, I was afraid for my life. I didn't know what she was doing to me. Why would she put something in my drink? Ain't nobody never done me like that before. So I was afraid. And I acted out of fear. I would never hurt anyone. But she put me in a situation where I ain't never been in before. And that's why I ran. And that's why I didn't tell people who would believe me. Who would believe something like that would happen? Who would believe it? No one.
Okay.
No police would probably believe me.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm telling the truth. I done gave my life to God. And I have to deal with this, still. Because like I said, this isn't the first time that I've been sexually abused by a woman. And then I was, now as an adult, it's happening again. This woman put something in my drink and she's trying to take something from me. It wasn't right. I know, and like I said, it scared me. I didn't know what to do. When I come to, what have you done to me? It scared, and she's over top of me doing something to me. I didn't know what else to do but to protect myself.
Okay. So your conversation with the Richmond police was a lie. That was all a lie. You told him a lie. You made that up.
Yes. I told him a lie because I know he probably wouldn't believe me. You know,
Okay.
I mean, who would believe my story like that? You know what I'm
Okay.
saying?
All
But
right. Okay. All right, Mr. Smith. I don't have any more questions related to your crime story. We're going to move on to your criminal history. My colleagues might have some questions for you related to your crime story. So You had a little juvenile. You had a little problem when you was a juvenile. Looks like there's some unlawful transaction with a minor. What was that all about? 1985. Remember?
Now I was an adult then.
Okay, so what was the unlawful transaction with the minor? What was that?
I have a baby mama, which, you know, I was like a year older than her, and they try to say that you know, I had raped her or something like that, but it was willingly sex, and we have a child together today.
Okay. Then 1986, you got a criminal trespass, second degree. You got a burglary second. 2009, I'm sorry, 1987. Burglary 2. What was that all about?
From my understanding, that case, I think it was dropped to criminal trespassing.
Okay.
Because, well, I had ran from a police officer, and I ran into an empty apartment, and they got me for criminal trespassing.
And then in 1988, you got charged with a rape first degree. What was that? Talk to us about that.
A mistaken identity. They said that they arrested me just based on my haircut or something, and but the truth came out, and you know, the case was dismissed.
Okay. Then we go down further on your list. You got some stuff that's been dismissed. Some other little misdemeanors. Then in looks like in 1990 you got a burglary 3. Then and then in 1990 there was some kind of sexual misconduct. What was that all about?
An old girlfriend just mad at me because we weren't together no more.
Okay.
I don't have. This is the only felony that I do have.
Yeah. Okay. Get some misdemeanors. Get some misdemeanor charges on there for non-support. Then in 1995, we got you got dismissed, but then you got a charge guilty for aggravated assault, 4th degree in 95. What was that all about?
To be honest with you, I really can't remember, but it's probably just a basic fist fight or something. Because I really can't remember so far back.
Happened in 95 and it happened again in 96.
Like I said, it probably was just a basic fist fight.
Okay, and then we in 1998, you had some trafficking controlled substance, 1st degree. You got 2 years probated for that. What was that all about?
Trafficking?
Yeah.
A felony or misdemeanor?
That's going to be a felony.
I don't have no other felonies.
Fayette County, 96F, 560.
This is the only felony that I got.
You got 12 months. You got 12 months probated for it.
Yeah, they must.
They must have. I don't know. Maybe they downgraded to misdemeanor.
Yeah, this is the only felony charge I do have.
Okay.
I've never been convicted of any felonies other than this.
So that's your criminal history.
Yes, sir.
Only thing
It's messing up again.
Only thing that brings me concern on there is that you can't explain the 2 aggravated assaults.
Got some lag time. If we could give it just a few seconds to catch up. Can you hear us now?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
I can't hear you.
Recording stopped.
Can you hear me now?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you, but you can't hear me, I guess.
Yeah,
We're
it's
good
back.
now.
It's back now.
Okay.
Recording in progress.
Okay, we're back on with Mr. Charles Smith, 164-958. Mr. Smith, I wanted to talk to you about your disciplinaries. You don't have any. Actually, you've been pretty good from all of 2023 and all 2024. You had not had any disciplinary, so you'd be
Yes, sir.
commended. You'd be commended for that.
Thank you.
Looks like you've done a lot of programming, Mr. Smith.
Yes, sir.
You actually completed SOAR. So,
Well, due
with
to the
all of the programs you've taken, you say, okay, look, you completed challenge program, you completed a sex offender, I'm sorry, segregation transition program, RSU transition program, MR transitional stuff. You completed SAP. You completed violent offender program. Completed SAP. So out of all those programs, what do you think what's been the most impactful for you?
well, it was a transition program. I was in the hole for almost 5 years. Back then, they would bury you in the hole. That's why they changed the law. Federal government changed the law so you wouldn't have to do all that whole time. And the transition program, it helped me deal with my child issues, like I was telling you about me being molested as a child. It helped me deal with my issue as far as with what happened to my case, with Miss Poland, because I got to talk about those issues with the therapist on, which was the first time I ever really talked about it to anybody. And so it just helped me a lot, just talking about it, being able to talk about it. And it was other guys in the class that, suffered similar things. So it helped me a lot. It helped me a lot.
What
It's
about
very
the
good.
SAP? I'm sorry, go ahead, sir.
Well, the SAP, I took SAP. They refused to even give me SAP. But like I said, I was alcoholic on the street, and I signed up for SAP. They didn't even want to let me into the program because they said, well, you've been locked up for 20 years and you ain't got no drugs, alcohol problems, write-ups and stuff like that. And I said, well, if y'all was to let me out today, I'm alcoholic. So, I'm trying to get the help that I need while I can. And so they finally allowed me into the program, and which, was probably one of the best programs I've ever been into. He had a Christmas celebration, and it's probably the best time I ever had since I've been incarcerated. Because of my guys.
So talk to us about the SOAR program.
It's another substance abuse program. Hold on. And I just want to get the help that I can. Because I never want to come back here again.
What do you think about, when you look at everything that happened and, your crime, the tragedy of it all? I know you had some other underlying issues yourself, but the crime, and this is about, a life taken, man. And then you were responsible for doing it.
It's hard to deal with too. Yes. And I'm truly sorry for what I've done. I've asked God for forgiveness. And if I could, I would ask her family, Miss Boland's family, to forgive me. It's been very hard to deal with. Like I said, the transition program helped me a lot because of some of the issues that I did have. And, like I said, I gave my life to God. And when I gave my life to God, you know, my life changed too. You know, I got baptized. And now I try to live for God. And that's why, you know, I wanted to tell the truth about really what happened. But nobody probably would believe me.
So, Mr. Smith, how old were you when you got molested? How old were you when you got molested?
First time I was like 10. My own mom don't even know about this. It was her sister.
Did you know that person?
It was my mom's sister. My mom's sister.
Okay. We're sorry that happened to you, man. We don't want that. That's a traumatic experience. We would, you know, so our heart goes out to you on that one. That's a tough one, especially being so close to home. So, Mr. Smith, in the event that we would parole you, what would be your plan, sir? You've been locked up for what, 26,
almost 25 years.
25 years?
First, I got a short goal plan. I have like 3 goals, you know. Try to get stable employment, develop a relationship with my children and my grandchildren. I got a 19-year-old granddaughter. I ain't never even seen. I ain't never seen my granddaughter, my grandkids. And I would try to establish a relationship with them and attend 2 AA meetings a week. That's my first 30 days out. That's something I would try to do.
What about how you gonna support yourself? Where you gonna live at? All that type of thing. Those logistical things.
Well, my mom, she's 87 years old, and she wants me to come to her house. Thank God that, you know, he had blessed her to live this long. And, you know, I intend to go there. And I got, you know, other family support, you know, friends that's willing to try to help me. Christian friends.
How would you earn any income to take care of yourself?
I'm capable of working. I work in here every day. You know, I done worked at PI jobs, you know, since I've been in here, you know. And about trade, you know, I'm a construction worker, you know, I'm a bricklayer. And, you know, I had jobs and stuff before I came here. I've always had a job. So I don't have a problem working. I'm in great physical shape, you know.
You think you could all the changes, there's been a lot of change going on since you've been locked up, sir.
Yeah, it has been.
It's not the same place that you left.
Yeah, most definitely has. I don't think I would have a problem, you know, adapting to some of the changes in the world. I'm not really, probably wouldn't even be into social media at all, you know, because like I said, you know, I'm trying to follow Jesus Christ now. And that probably my main thing, just staying close to God, you know, attending church and working.
Okay, Mr. Smith, that's all the questions I have for you, sir. Let me see if my colleagues have any questions for you.
Thank you.
Ms. Wiggins?
Thank you. Mr. Smith, can you see and hear me okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Do you consider yourself a victim?
No, ma'am.
All right.
I mean, in some ways I do as when I was a child.
Right.
Yes. When I was a child, you know.
Do you consider yourself a victim of the system?
No, ma'am.
Okay.
Because, you know, I take full responsibility for what I do, you know, and no, ma'am. I don't think I'm a victim of the system.
Seems like you have a lot of sorrow right now. Can you explain that to me? What's going on with your feelings and stuff right now?
Well, I've been changing. You know, prison can only do two things to you. It can either make you bitter or it can make you better. I've chosen to use my time very wisely, but by establishing a relationship with Jesus Christ, and Jesus has made me better. You know, I no longer desire the things I used to desire. Um, my thinking, has changed. I no longer even think the thoughts like I used to have, before I got incarcerated. Um,
Can you give me an example of one thing that you have changed for the better, and one of your thoughts that maybe you don't use, you've changed?
um, Drinking, because like I said, I'm a recovering alcoholic. Before I got locked up, I had 8 years clean on the
Okay.
street as an alcoholic, and when I relapsed, it led me here. It wasn't even 6 months later. You know, I'm in
Mhm.
prison. And so, like I said, that's why I wanted to take sap and sword because I really do have an alcohol problem. It's part of my family. They alcoholics. You know, and from my past experience, like I said, because I've been a part of 12 steps before, you know, and I have a lot of experience. Like I said, I had 8 years clean at one time. And now, what else did you say about what I?
Oh, if there was I think you answered it, but it was like a thought process. You said you've changed like a thought process. You don't normally think the way you do, but what was the one maybe thought that you have changed?
Um, the street life.
Okay,
I
can you
had,
explain that a little bit further?
I was raised, I was born in the projects,
Okay.
and so we always looked up to drug dealers and stuff like that.
Hmm.
And in my past, I've sold drugs before. But like I said, when I got clean those 8 years, I removed myself from all those type of people and that type of behavior, and I got in a financial situation, and that's how I relapsed because I went back to selling drugs. And when I went back to selling drugs, I'm thinking to myself, well, Charles, you're an alcoholic. It wouldn't hurt for you to smoke some marijuana. So I smoked some marijuana, and it led me right back to drinking. And like I said, I relapsed.
Yeah, and it's good that you recognize that one addiction can lead to another, or one mind-altering substance can lead back to your addiction. Um, what if you were granted that privilege of parole? What is the one thing that you might be a difficulty for you or a barrier for your success?
Just alcohol. And that's why, like I said, I would have to really stay focused on Jesus and, attend meetings, you know. Um, but right now, my focus is on God. I get up every morning, I pray, I read my Bible. I mean, I'm up early, like 4:30 in the morning, studying the Word of God. And, as I can continue to grow spiritually, I think that my life, will continue to change. Um, mentally too, as far as physically. Um, because I
Do
mean,
you
God,
do you think prayer alone would address your alcoholism, or do you believe you have a plan to kind of continue your sobriety?
not prayer alone won't help me now. I mean, it's good for me to pray, but also, like I said, I would have to attend some type of 12-step program,
Okay.
um, at least 2, 3 meetings, a day or something like that, and be around someone, get a sponsor, someone that a mentor, someone that I can share and try to grow with, you know.
Okay. Since I have, thank you.
Thank you, Ms.
Thank
Wiggins. Ms. Fields? You're Mike's
All right,
on.
Mr. Smith,
Yes, ma'am.
how big a woman was Miss Poland?
She's about my size.
Okay. I mean, I would think at that time you were rather probably a strong individual, strong,
I was actually a little smaller back then.
or yeah.
Yeah, I ain't got fat in here. I
Well,
was smaller. I probably was about like 160. So I'm almost like 200 pounds now.
yeah, it says, well, on your resident card, it says you're 185, 5'9".
Yeah, yeah. So I was like
So,
60 back then.
so did the drug that you say that you believe that she put in your drink, did that cause you to hinder you from pushing her off or fighting her off rather than stabbing her?
Well, it like I said, it knocked me out. I was unconscious for a while, and then when I come to, she's on top of me. I don't know what she's doing. So I just panicked and you know, and seen something. I grabbed it and stabbed her and ran.
How many times did you stab her?
Just one time.
Okay. Why would the PSI say that she had multiple stab wounds and there were blood splatters in multiple locations?
I only stabbed her one time.
Let me get to that document for me. I had it up here just a second ago. Said that Miss Poland died a result of multiple stab wound trauma with a pair of scissors were protruding from her neck when the body was discovered.
From my understanding, I only stabbed her one time, ma'am.
Okay.
I don't know what they put in their report, but from my understanding, I only stabbed her one time.
And this incident did happen in Lexington, Kentucky, right?
Yes, ma'am. I'm from Lexington.
Okay. And you were interviewed by Lexington
Police officer.
Metro Crime
Yes, ma'am.
Homicide Unit. Okay.
Well, the detective's name was Detective Richmond.
That's correct, sir. Were you under the influence of anything prior to going to Miss Poland's house? You were on your way to your girlfriend's place, you said?
Yes, ma'am. No, ma'am, I wasn't. I had been working that day. And so I was going to her house to change clothes, take a shower, change clothes, and we was going to kick it.
Okay.
But like I said, I seen her on the she was sitting on the porch, this apartment complex. She was sitting on the porch and she was crying and stuff. And, I was just trying to be a gentleman. But
All right. Okay, sir. I believe that's all the questions I have. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Fields. Okay, Mr. Smith, that will conclude the interview portion of your hearing. But before we break for deliberation, sir, is there anything that you would like to share with the parole board?
I would appreciate it if y'all taking consideration, all the clear conduct that I have accumulated since I've been in here. Because, like I said, in the past, I was kind of being a little disruptive in here. But like I said, I have changed my life. I gave my life to Jesus Christ, and I'm walking with Him now. I would appreciate it if y'all, I have good family support. My mom is still, and my children and stuff. I really don't know them, but they're out there, and hopefully one day I can get to meet them.
Yeah, you had some letters in your file from the first time you went up for parole. I'll take it those pretty much the people you have that are going to support you.
Yes, sir. Yeah, Christian lady. She, her and her husband, they've been, supporting me financially and everything in here. He's a basketball coach for Florida A&M.
Okay. Okay, Mr. Smith, remain seated there. We're going to go to our breakout room and make our decision, and we'll be back with you momentarily, okay?
Thank you.
Recording stopped. Recording in progress.
Okay, Mr. Smith, can you still see and hear us?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Mr. Smith, after reviewing your file and more importantly, after our interview with you, sir, it will be our decision, due to the seriousness of your crime, sir, the violence involved, a life was taken, your crime involved a deadly weapon or instrument, your prior misdemeanor conviction, your history of drugs and alcohol, and your history of assaultive behavior. We are going to defer you. Now, sir, doing this deferment, we recommend that you follow any and all recommendations by the Kentucky Department of Corrections. We also feel like we have some things we think you need to take care of before we can really consider you for parole. Is we want you to enter and complete the MRT program and the MRT trauma program. We think this programming would be very good, would be a good thing for you to do. Now, your deferment, we could have, you know what we could have done? We could have deferred you 60 months again or whatever. But we're going to defer you 12 months. So we'll see you in 12 months, sir, and have that programming completed.
Yes, sir.
All right?
Yes, sir.
All right. Thank you. Good luck to you, sir.
Luck to you.
Thank you.
Like, sir.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Recording stopped.
Okay. I wonder if before our next one, I need